Hello, welcome to the Q, Operation Mayday, USA turn, Global War 85. It is scenario 2. We do have some tech to roll, and we are going to continue with our 2 dice on yellow for SDI, Caterpillar Drive, Chemical Warfare, and Advanced Manufacturing. And let's roll those dice. All right, so we'll turn our dice tray here. See what comes up. Oh, goodness. One again. So advanced manufacturing, which really doesn't help us for this turn. We're buying a facility, but it's a one-turn purchase, so it does not get boosted or discounted for production. So let's pay off some stuff here. The airfield, the air base or army base, and both of those are in Suez, and the port in UAE. Now, the port in UAE, come to find out, is a different story because right now, with that port damaged, UAE is out of supply. So the attack that I had scheduled for here cannot happen. So we're going to take these dice off, this dice off as well. So we're repairing that, but when we're out of supply, we cannot make a combat attack. So we can non-com. So we're going to non-com move this attack bomber out of there. So our attack here in Oman has been reduced to 1 cruise missile. We have another attack here. I didn't go over the buy. Let's go over the buy before I get out of crazy. So 1 cruise missile in Oman. Try and get that airborne. All right. So we've, out of our purchase, we've spent $10 repairing. We're going to finish stage 3 of our aircraft carrier, super carrier here for 5. A Marine. We're going to build another minor port in UAE to try and help us survive there. We've got a destroyer. We're going to lend, not lend lease, military aid to NATO. We're going to send a mech their way. We're going to build a fighter at the air base here in, what is it, Puerto Rico? Yes, Puerto Rico. That's what that 3 is, so we can get out from underneath the sub. And then we're going to build a MBT and a SAM. It's not a lot there. I mean, we had 48. We saved 2. We'll get our 4 cruises and 1 ship missile. And now let's go back to the combat. So we've got our cruise missile strike there. Our theater missile is going to go after the military base here in Makkah. And then our B1 is going to come down from Marmara, 1, 2, 3 into Suez. He'll have a movement of 7 left. Actually, he'll have a movement of 8 left because of the air base. So we've got a paving strike on the airfield followed up with a nuclear strike on that same airfield. The goal there is to take out the airfield, which will earn us a battle star. So that'll be nice. Then we can upgrade an air base and get more cruise missiles next turn. So those are the 2 attacks out of Suez going that way. Since we've repaired the 2 facilities here in Suez, we can use the airfield, which is why I assumed when I was going to repair this minor port in UAE, then I could make my attack, but it doesn't work that way, unbeknownst to me. So we've got an airborne coming out of Suez, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, and he's going to go in here into Western Libya. We've got from Marmara the F-117 and a fighter, and they will come in as support. We got a light infantry and a mechanized infantry going into East Libya, and that is worth nothing, so I'll turn that marker over. All right, that is that attack. The last attack, we're going all in here into Angola. This sub here, nuclear attack sub, will come out of A48, go to A46, where it fires the cruise missile. So that'll be coming in there. I could have actually switched forces and come up here to take that out, but I think the game is out of hand. So we're just going to do a big battle and enjoy the rolling of the dice. So there is the defenders. So I'm going to move those over to the defensive board, and we'll set those up here in a second. And let's see. All right, so we've got here in southwestern Africa 3 mechs and a SAM, and they are coming over here. You know what? I'm just going to kind of grab them in my hands and then take them over to the board. From, which one is this? South Africa will be an MBT, a attack helicopter, and then the airborne will go 1-2. I did have one of these fighters coming up here, but since I can't make that attack, it's actually going to take place in this combat here. Or is it? That is a good question. Because I could rebase it and just not use it. Ay, 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 ay. Nah, it doesn't matter. We'll throw them in. So these 2 fighters will come in from South Africa, 1-2. All right. Now coming off the amphib here will be 2 Marines and an attack helicopter off that ship there. We've got a bombardment with our cruiser. I'm going to take that with me. And I'm going to get all those planes off of there as well. All right, set this here. And we'll set that up. We got a bombard at 2. I guess it comes over here as a first strike. Our MBT is at 4. Is it not? Yeah, there it is. All right, so we got 3 mechs. They will be at 3. The 2 fighters from South Africa will be on C because there is, and you can't see it up there, there's 2 SAMs, so we're going to knock those off first strike with these 2 first fighters, so they'll be at 6. Our SAM will be first strike because they do not have seed. So where is our SAM here? Oh, you know what? SAMs do not get to attack. That's global war. So I guess he'll retire. So I don't see him on the board. All right, so we got our attack helicopter. 2 of them, actually. So they will boost the 2 Marines to 4 and 2 of the mechs to 4. Oh, where's the other Marine? All right, he'll be at a 3 on the drop. All right, so let me grab the planes off the carrier here. And, all right, so we've got 2 top guns. So they will actually have a better air superiority shot. It'll be at +1, so I'm going to move them down here. We got a regular air superiority fighter. And then we have 2 more fighters at air superiority at 6. And then our attack bomber, which will be firing nukes. So that'll give us a little bit of an advantage there. Let's see. And I'm going to put my nuke marker there so that I remember that. All right, so the other bomber here, attack bomber, will come out of Florida, 1 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and he'll have 2 left. This 2 was from the attack bomber in UAE, which cannot take place, so I will pull him off. So I pulled off an attack bomber and added a fighter. All right. So that'll be 2 attack bombers instead of 3. So that kind of puts our chances really low here. Not really low, but not as good. Next up is the 2 B-52s from Marmara, and they come around Africa, and they have 4 left. Actually, one will have 5 because he doesn't need to go into the sea zone or into the land zone, because one's firing the 2 cruise missiles and the other is carpet bombing. So I'll put him on the board, and then we got this cruise missile coming off of the sub. All right, so 3 cruises. We got a bomber. All right, so that is our attack. I don't see any other attacks that we can make. Yeah, get that off of there and that off of there. All right, so let's roll. Well, wait a minute. Let's spread out the defense. All right, so in the text here, get a little wider, in the chat, he said that he wanted his SAMs to do FS, which is fighter superiority. So they will actually defend at 2 against the fighters. There is 5 infantry, and those are at 4. The attack helicopter is at 4. 2 paramilitary at 2, and 4 fighters at air superiority will be over here at 6. All right. Let's roll some dice. I believe we're ready to go. So first we're going to have an AMD shot for our theater missile. Well, let's do the B1 first. So first up is our AMD shot, and then our 1D3 for the paving strike. And so 11 on the missile, 1. So we did 1 damage with that first attack. And then we've got 2 D12s for the second, and this is nuclear as well. Unbelievable. So that's a total of 6 damage. So we did not max that out. So no upgrade. Doggone it. All right, let me put those dice over here. Well, actually, I need those. So let's put a 5 and a 1. I don't have a 1 anywhere. Doggone it. Not prepared here for the damage. So I'll put a red ship under there. So the air base has 6 damage. It's kind of a crazy way to show that. All right, so the theater missile on the military base will also have an AMD shot at 4. All right, so there I did 9. So if I'd have got 9 on my B1 strike plus the 1, I would have maxed that out. So I don't have 9. I'm going to put 9 there to mark that. So 9 damage on the military base, 6 on the air base. So that's lame. All right, so let's do this cruise missile. There's no AMD there. So that cruise missile is 1 at 5. So much for that. All right, so I think we're now at the battle for Angola. There's no other. Oh, there's some other little battles. Let's do Western Libya, get that out of the way. So we've got an airborne at 3. We've got a fighter at 6. Oh, come on. And the F-117 at 7. There's a hit. All right, so they attack. Helicopter defends at a 4. All right, well, we are going to lose the jet so that we can take Western Libya out of the picture. Which is fine because it was going to land here in the desert and probably do nothing next turn anyway. So, kind of stinks. All right, so now we got our first strikes over here. Let's roll the Bombard first for the cruiser, of course. I'm just going to put him back on the C zone because he's not doing anything else. Oh, that was a air superiority. All right, so the 3 cruise missiles, and if I got that wrong, we'll roll 3 AMDs. Okay, so they all missed. So hopefully, well, yeah, because they would get to roll more against the aircraft. That's probably why he chose that. All right, so the 3 cruise missiles, they come in at 5 or under. We get 2. We do get target select. We can't select the... but you know what? We can select those SAMs. Let's do that. I'm tired of losing aircraft. So we target select the 2 SAMs with the cruise missiles, so they are out and don't get the fire. All right. Now we'll go on to air superiority here. So we've got 1 at 5 for the ASF. All right, there's a hit. Air superiority. All right, so there's a 1. Now we've got, I might as well roll these 2. 2 6s for the fighters. There's another hit, so that's 2. And then 2 ASFs, Top Guns at 6. Oh, there's 2 more. So that's good. All right, we got the B-52 at 2s. Nothing. We got a mech and an airborne at 3. There's 1 hit. So that's 1 general hit. All right, next up, we got a shadow here. We've got, I think we got to roll the MBT, yeah, because it has a target select of 2. So that's at 4. Well, it's a hit, so that's a general hit. All right, now we got 2 Marines and 2 mechanized infantry at 4. There's 2 more hits. All right. 2 attack. They attack at 6. So I had them in the wrong spot. What was that? With close air support. Oh, that's air cav with close air support. All right. So the attack helicopters and the fighters. Oh, they both have target select, but they're both different. So here's the helicopters. There's 1 hit. And the 2 fighters. 1 hit. Oh, no, that's a target select. So we got a target select for the ground. And then last but not least is our attack bombers dropping battlefield nukes. So that will be 6 dice at 7. And let's see how this goes. 1, 2, 3. Oh, jeez. All right, so that will be 8. Well, I didn't have. I think that's all they have. All right, so let's roll defense. They have 4 fighters at 6, air superiority. 1. That's good news. All right, so they get a 1 air superiority. Where is it? There it is. All right, 2 paramilitaries at 2. Of course. All right, there's a hit. And what next? 5 infantry. And we got to roll those separate because of that target select. At 4. 1, 2. It's cocked between a 6 and a 4. 3. Oh, that sucked. 3 out of 5 hits. And then the 4 for the attack helo. Oh my gosh. 5. All right, so they're going to lose target select of an infantry. Air superiority 4, so that's those. That leaves 8 left. There's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that is it for the battle. And they got an air superiority hit of 1, so we'll lose a fighter. And then 5 more hits. Holy cow. What to do? What to do? Now, let's see. I want to leave the airborne. So I guess we'll lose the MBT 2 mechs. So that's 1, 2, 3. Bringing down another Marine, so I can lose a Marine. That's 4. I guess we'll lose that last mech. That's 5. So in Angola will be the 2 attack helos, the SAM that did nothing, and airborne and a Marine. And that was so painful. Yep, that was bad. All right. Got the job done, but lost way too much. So, going back to the carrier, will be these and these. All right. So, we're going to place all our ships here just because. So, attack bomber, Top Gun, ASF, and a fighter. So that leaves the 2 fighters that came from Angola, or from South Africa. We'll go back there. All right. Both B-52s do not have enough range to get anywhere exciting. So they will also land here in South Africa. I got to grab it from over here at the other table. And we did use nukes there. All right. It's going to be easier if I can see those. If we count when we do a recap. So that is it for all the aircraft. Oh, you know what? One of those had a 6 left. Can I go somewhere exciting with 6? I think I can. But I think we'll go here in South Africa and bring over a fighter. All right, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. The other aircraft, this B-1, I wonder where we want to go. I think we'll go here to Suez. Or will we go? Nah, we'll go back to Marmara. You know what, though? We might be there alone. I can't tell if that's mountain. I think it looks like it's mountain. So I don't think they can blitz into there and make an attack. So we'll go back to Marmara with that. All right, so coming out of Suez here will be two mechs, one SAM, and a light infantry. So I'll have to see if I can come up with 2 more mechs and a light infantry to put there. And there they are. All right, so these stay behind. There's the light infantry. All right, so I think that's it for, well, now we can move this attack bomber out. So he'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So he can't make that. Oh, wait a minute. He can move 9 or 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So he'll go into Marmara there. The F-117 will go back to Marmara. Forgot that. All right, so what other glorious items do we have here? We are going to rebase this fighter here from Marmara to Paris. Our MBT is going to come up from Western France to Southern France. And here's an interesting thing. I'm not sure, it looked like, and I probably should have looked it up, but I just now thought of it. These two fighters scrambled into southern France, but for some reason stayed there when the battle was over. They didn't go back. I wonder if that's, I'm going to have to look that rule and see what that is, because I don't know if they're in southern France or Paris. To me, it would think if you scrambled, you'd go back to your airbase, but I don't know that detail. All right, so let's move on. We can't do any sea lift. We got a sub in our way, which we'll deal with here in a little bit. We've got an airlift of an airborne from the southern United States and 2 Marines from, wait a minute, now I'm only building 1 Marine. So the interesting point there is, I think we're going to leave 1. So the airborne will airlift to the airbase here in Suez, and the Marine will airlift to the airbase here in South Africa. We have an assault ship which will go in port here in South Africa, and then this destroyer and frigate will come up here and join the party here in A48. All right. I could airlift that Marine, but I think we're good. We're staying put in London and Picardy, and we are officially done with our movements. So we use nukes here in Angola and here in Macau. So that's that. All right, so that's going to move our nuke counter up 2. So we go up to 8. Let's place our goods. So here on the East Coast will be the carrier, destroyer, and they'll all be in port there. And our Marine will go here in Northeastern. We've got our fighter being built at that air base here in, Puerto Rico. Across the pond is going to go our mechanized infantry. and we'll go right here into Picardy. So that will boost them by 1. I say that maybe we should probably go here in Western France. So if an airborne tries to land there, we can scramble. All right, that's what we'll do. Unless Captain G would like to change that to Picardy, then we'll go that route. That was a call, audible call there. So I've got a SAM and an MBT. However, I think we're going to build the MBT down here at the military base in South Africa. And the SAM, we're going to replace the one that left up in Suez. We did save $2 for next turn. We built 4 cruise missiles. We shot 4. We did add anti-ship missile. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we got 7 anti-ship missiles. We probably ought to start using those. We paid off all our damage. Oh, we got the little minor port. So now we'll have 2 ports there in a UAE, just to make it a little more difficult to get out of supply again. All right. Now I think we're officially done. So let's do some cash. What did we go up for Angola? Angola is a 1. And then Western Libya is 2. So we actually went up 3. Might be more exciting than the whole game. 56, they'll go down 1 to 56. So we're tied there. And Warsaw Pact will go down 2. Assuming I got those numbers right. All right. At least we had a decent battle in Angola. Costly as it was. All right, so that's it for the U.S. turn. Next up will be Warsaw Pact, which I believe is turn 10. I have the marker behind. All right, thanks for watching.